performance.
Thank you very much. Let's talk about Aatrox first and foremost, and SK Telecom's team composition, because that felt very EU-esque to me. I want to highlight the fact that I believe that is Aatrox's first time in a professional scene for any Korean team. Freak, kick us off.
So this to me looked like them practicing, because we know there's nothing for them to lose, there's only things for them to gain. And we heard the commentary throughout the game being about the fact that these guys are looking for some like solid play, right? They want to close it out. They want to make sure that they're playing up to par because they've got quarterfinals ahead of them. And so I think it's both, okay, what does Aatrox really do? Because you've seen how strong the two European teams that made it out of Group B were with Aatrox. Clearly there's something here because these teams are strong. And like, okay, let's see what it is for ourselves. We might as well use this as practice.
Yeah, not only that, and it is. Usually Aatrox, when I'm casting OGN in Korea, and we go through the picks and bans, and the players will hover over Aatrox, and the audience just kind of laughs. So it's never really been taken seriously as a competitive pick there, even though it has been used quite successfully in other regions. The Leona pick, a little bit interesting as well, but with how well Fnatic's been doing, and they've been pulling that pick, I think that was a bit of an experiment here. But really, what stood out to me was they were playing such a methodical, objective-based game. You can see they just tried to take every advantage, went through all 11 turrets, didn't try and close out the game early, took an early Baron, but the earliest safe Baron. And so they were just playing as textbook as they could. I think trying to get them more into that kind of mode that they want to be in going into the playoffs.
And I like that they did that, because against a team that's looked upon as inferior to yourself, you often want to go for those flashy plays. You just want to engage. You know you're better, so you'll play a little more dive harder. And I like that they went for the methodical approach, as Monty said, because it shows that they have respect for the game. They just what they want to do is learn from this, and it shows that even from these easier games, they can still learn.
I definitely want to highlight Pumandu's Leona because I thought it was very, very good. I felt that the times we caught the 2v2s, his initiation seemed good. He landed a lot of the abilities that he needed to. There was some counter ganks there that cost some lives, but I mean, that's to be expected in a game like this, especially with a champion like Leona who's so all or nothing in the matchup.
I wonder if they picked it based on Fnatic bringing it out and just wanted to practice it, or if it was basically a hidden pick that they just wanted to brush up again.
I mean, Mondu did participate in 12 out of their 13 kills, but there's a lot of drawbacks to Leona that won't come to you naturally just by thinking of the champion, such as the fact that she's really weak in 2v1 because she's melee, and the only thing that she can really do is dive. Leona has a lot of drawbacks, but obviously if played really well, she's a really, really strong initiator, and she's like cleans up teamfights so well.
Well, I want to take a step back and look at the duo lanes, because when the Leona was locked in, off camera, we're lucky enough to sit with these guys and talk about the game. And one of the things that we've been talking about a lot extensively is these 2v1 lanes. And because we've got an AD carry and a support and some casters here, let's talk a little bit about the 2v1s. When do you initiate it? Why do you initiate a 2v1? How important is the champion picks? Things like that. Give me some hints and tips as to why the game has evolved in this way. Because a lot of guys in solo queue that are playing in Go for LOLs, playing at home, I don't know if they've really thought about the theory behind it.
So originally, I feel like 2v1s came about because strategically, if you push a 2v1 onto a team that doesn't know how to deal with it, so you'll even see, even though Koreans are really adept at 2v1ing, they are not necessarily really good at dealing with the 3v1 dive as they came into Worlds. So you can push strategies like that and catch people off guard, but not only that, it allows you to have a weak duo lane and end up having them split even in CS with the enemy's 2v1 while simultaneously holding down the enemy's top laner. So, for example, if the enemy top laner was something like a Singed, who you need to hold down or else to become an unstoppable split pusher, you would want a 2v1 into that.
It's actually really interesting how it is developed. I still remember playing against World Elite the first time they swapped their bot lane up to top, and we were like, what the hell is going on? Why would you do that? So basically they did that with bad matchups. Either top lane matchup you don't want to face, that scales better into late game, or some matchups are really good on low farm. Say example, a Malphite, he doesn't really need much farm to be effective. He can just ult in fights, take out priority targets, and if you dodge the matchups there, it was really interesting how World Elite started with that. They initially just put 2 people on top lane, and then the jungle joined. No ganks, nothing fancy, he just joined on the top lane and they went for a 3v1 simple push. Later people figured it out, they started defending it, then people figure out, hey, why don't we send the jungle behind? It was such interesting development.
Yeah, for me, this has been one of the most positive influences on League of Legends because it opens up so many strategies. In addition to what these guys are saying, too, sometimes if you're playing a really fast-paced objective game, you may want to take your 2v1 because you're confident you can out-harass the enemy top laner and then push down that turret very quickly. I mean, we see a lot of Caitlyn Nami for that reason. You use that early range, use that Tidecaller's Blessing, you just constantly pick away at the top laner and take that turret.
Like Ozone did to Gambit.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting as well that there's more and more and more mind games that come out from this. So first of all, you talk about even setting up a 2-on-1, and it's, well, which lane do they go for? Back in Season 2, it was, well, red team usually goes top lane because of double golems, and there was a real reason to not do that. Then maybe you juked people out. But then secondary to that, you look at like jungle patterns, for example. I remember on one of the very first days, the blue side jungler got his blue into enemy red and was right there to dive the top turret well before SKT's jungler was there to defend it. And those kind of things are interesting as well.
Another thing that it really affects is picks. In terms of AD carries, Caitlyn's rise in popularity came largely because of 2v1s, because she's so strong in lane, people want to dodge against her. Let's say you're playing against a Caitlyn. You don't want to lane against Caitlyn, so you dodge into 2v1. That puts her in an amazing position, because Caitlyn is one of the best, if not just arguably the best, AD at 2v1 because of her pushing power, because of her range. She pushes down towers and minions really fast, and it lets you take the first tower, which is so huge.
Well, give some closing thoughts here, Crepo.
I just want to agree that it really influences the way you have to jungle, and it's no longer reactive jungle. So you have to think about, if you 2v1, you will have to stick to the area where you are numbering the enemy team, aka those two buffs locate the nearest to your bot lane, wherever they are. That's where you need to go. So you need aggressive warding to find out what the other team is doing. You need to make sure you can't get contested on your first buff. It just adds way more depth and way more need for deep wards in the early game.
That's definitely something everybody has to think about. From 2v1s, now we're going to start talking about early wards and vision control. This will be a topic for another segment, I'm sure. Guys, with another win in SKT's inventory, let's check out the fresh new standings. SKT are now tied with OMG at the top of the table with 6 wins apiece. But of course, SKT still sitting at that single loss and 1 game extra. Dogs, TSM, and Gaming.